Hey, good morning, friends. You guys asked for it, and here it is. This is a review of my new Starcraft 2019 Starcraft 186 Superfisherman. Friends, I recently had an opportunity to get a really good deal on a 2019 Starcraft Superfisherman 186. The kind of deal that I just could not pass up. Now, I've never actually ridden in a Starcraft boat, period. It's one of the few aluminum boats that I've never either owned or ridden in. But I've never fished out of a Starcraft boat. But however, I've always heard good things about the Starcraft boats. So after giving it a pretty good once over, I decided to take my chances and pick this thing up. Now that I've had an opportunity to take it out a couple of times and put it through its paces, I gotta tell you, this is a pretty sweet rig. Starcraft does a really nice job with fit and finish, putting these things together. Functionality, the ride quality is excellent. Ready? This very well could be the driest riding boat I've ever ridden. This 18.5 footer is powered with a 150 Merc 4-stroke, and it's the perfect amount of power for this thing. In fact, both the times I've had it out, the river's been pretty rough, just pretty choppy in general. I've had it out on a couple of pretty high wind days with a lot of boat traffic, so the river was pretty chopped up. So honestly, I've not had it yet wide open throttle. I know it'll run at least low 40s, but I've yet to find out what it'll run full throttle in decent water conditions. But guys, this Starcraft Superfisherman 186 is pretty well laid out. They definitely laid this thing out with fishermen in mind. Starting up here at the bow, we've got a removable platform in the center of the front deck. You can pull this thing out if you're not fishing. Maybe you're just taking the wife and kids out for a ride. You can remove this platform, which removes the front fishing seat. But you can see you've got a live well right here. We've got a pretty sizable live well right here. And then here on the other side, we've got our nav light, and we've got a really nice size storage box. There's actually one more hatch up here in the very front of the boat. Just a small hatch, maybe just about enough room for an anchor. But I've got the cover. It's underneath the cover, and I've got the cover kind of balled up here. But it's just a small hatch, about the right size for an anchor. This one was delivered with a Minn Kota Terrova. You got a 24 volt, 80 pound thrust, 60-inch shaft, Minn Kota Terrova. Definitely one of my favorite trolling motors. We've got a Humminbird Helix 7 at the dash. It currently does not have a fish finder at the bow. Until I decide how and where I'm going to mostly use this thing, I'm not too terribly concerned about adding electronics. For the time being, the Humminbird Helix 7 is at least usable here at the bow. Seating on this thing is laid out really, really nice. Like I said, we've got a fishing seat here up front. We've got rod storage over here on the port side of the boat. We've got rod storage, enough for 3 rods. Since the battery is dead, we can store 6 rods here in the floor. And we've got a pretty clever use of space for battery storage here behind the rod storage box. Our battery charger is up underneath the dashboard with a cord access right here on the bow. Pretty well thought out. We've got a little, over here on the starboard side, we've got a little cubby with room for our nav light. And any other kind of goodies you may want to store right in here. I store my Yellowtech power stick in there. Here at the back of the boat we've got jump seats. These, by the way, are the widest jump seats I've seen in the industry, with plenty of storage underneath for life jackets. You don't often see jump seats big enough for a boy my size. I'm pretty impressed with these jump seats. And then to keep our walleye fresh, we've got a gigantic live well here at the back of the boat. Plenty enough for a 3 or 4 man limit on the Detroit River. Of course, we got another jump seat back here with more storage underneath. This boat comes standard with a boarding ladder. Always handy. Nice little safety feature as well. Again, it's powered with a 154 stroke Merc, which is plenty of power for this rig. We've got a 9.9 Pro Kicker. That's a command thrust Pro Kicker. Perfect size for trolling with this boat. That Pro Kicker has its own controls. We got a remote ignition up here. We've got throttle controls. Just the perfect setup for trolling Lake Erie, Lake St. Clair, even Lake Michigan for some salmon steelhead. I love the wide gunnels on this model. Big wide gunnel gives you plenty of room to install track. Here I've got Bert's custom tackle track on this one. Got courtesy lights all around. We've got a Bluetooth stereo. This boat is everything I need for trolling the big water. Hey guys, if you've enjoyed this quick boat review of the Starcraft Superfisherman 186, 2019 model. Please make sure you give us a thumbs up. If you're interested in fishing the Detroit River, Lake St. Clair, Lake Erie, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, make sure to subscribe to this channel. We do a ton of big water fishing. Guys, thanks for watching another episode of Team Jesus Outdoors. God bless, tight lines. We'll see you guys on the river.